What's up, guys? I'm BTC. Welcome back to the Respawn, a weekly series where I answer your questions. Let's get started. First question, which class will be the next hero in your opinion? It's almost certainly going to be a tank or a healer. During BlizzCon, Jeff Kaplan did admit that there's a shortage of tanks and healers in comparison to the amount of DPS that they have in the game. So you might be asking, well, why did they add a DPS? I don't know. But I think almost certainly the next heroes are going to be tank and healer. The only problem is, what can you add to the game that's still going to be unique? Because if you look at the existing tanks, they already have a good variety with the barriers, and then with the healers, there's already pretty good variety there. So what can you actually add that's going to be different from what we already have? I do have a couple of ideas, but Blizzard hasn't bothered to ask me what I would like to see. What do you think about daily mission system? I don't think they would ever add it, because they already have a weekly system that they have with the arcade where you can get loot boxes for wins. I don't think they're going to change it over to a daily system. What do you think will be good counters for the dive meta in the future if it comes back? I think it's almost certainly going to come back. And what are the good counters? Mirror match. Basically, in order to counter dive, you play dive. That's pretty much how it went for like 6 or more seasons when we had D.Va, Winston, Tracer in almost every single match. Like, that's how you counter it, with dive. That's why dive meta is so boring, because it's the same 5, 6, 7 heroes every single match over and over and over again. Will Ana and Zen ever get some mobility abilities? If so, what could it be? I don't think they will ever get any kind of mobility at all, ever. I just don't see it happening. Ashe counter video when? I actually was working on it earlier today. I finished a major part of it. I'm still working on the script and some of the recordings and such, but hopefully it should be soon, probably in the next couple days. Do you think the spread reduction they did to Bastion is headed in the right direction? Yes and no. Yes, because it raises the skill ceiling of the character a little bit by making player accuracy more important, by reducing the randomness of it. And no, it's bad because it now encourages the player to stay in sentry mode even more, and being stationary is incredibly bad in Overwatch, and it makes Bastion less viable. And for the other part, do you think they'll do more to him soon? I have no idea. Maybe they will, maybe they don't. I think the character needs a rework. Do you think Reaper's teleport should be instant like Tracer's blink and recharge when eliminating opponents like Genji's Swift Strike? The teleport is pretty garbage. It's probably the worst ability in the game, but that would be way too strong. Imagine being able to instantly teleport next to the enemy support. You could then two-shot them and then instantly blink out. That would be way too powerful. So the teleport does need some changes, but that's just too strong, way too strong. Who are the best and worst heroes for Deathmatch? If you're talking about free-for-all deathmatch, then McCree is by far the best character in the game. Roadhog is pretty close as well, and Doomfist, before he gets nerfed, is also pretty solid. Now, I know some people think that Moira and Brigitte are somehow incredibly good at free-for-all deathmatch. They're not. If you look at the leadership board for the previous competitive free-for-all, the top 500, the number of people that mained Moira is 0. The number of people that mained Brigitte is only 2, and they're at way down at the bottom of the top 500. So the best are going to be McCree and Roadhog for free-for-all. For team deathmatch, again, it's going to be McCree and Roadhog, although characters like Mercy for her res, because that erases one of the enemy's eliminations, and Moira can also heal quite well, and Brigitte has enough sustainability and also healing to also be pretty good. Torbjorn is also surprisingly good in the team deathmatch as well, because the turret is a little bit stronger than it would be in a normal game, because normally it's 6 versus 6, but when it's 4 versus 4, that turret seems to be a little bit more impactful, so there you go. How disappointed were you with Mass Effect Andromeda? That's a really old game now, but it was pretty terrible. I quit and uninstalled about a third of the way through. Probably will never play another Mass Effect game, ever. What mechanic do you think is needed most on Overwatch right now? More anti-healing. Doesn't need to be the full 100% anti-heal that Ana's Bionade has, but something that reduces healing by 20% or 50% or something like that. When the game first came out, there was no burst healing at all. and now there's tons and tons of burst healing, and you can do tons of damage to a high health character or tank, and then all of a sudden they're just back to full. And there's really not much you can do about it. You can just keep attacking and they just keep getting burst healed back up to full. So there needs to be more in the game that can actually kind of slow that down a little bit. Why isn't Reaper a viable GOATS counter? Because GOATS is a type of death ball comp, meaning everybody stays close, there's lots of tanks and lots of healing. So for Reaper to be effective, he needs to get in close to the enemy, and if he tries to do that versus GOATS, he's going to be in the middle of all of their team, and he's just going to get instantly destroyed. Why do my teammates tell me not to kill the D.Va? It's because they want you to stagger her respawn. Whenever the fight is over, all of the enemy are going to respawn in about 12 seconds. If you wait an extra 10, 15, 20 seconds before taking out the D.Va, then they're going to have to wait for that D.Va to respawn as well. A good team will wait, and therefore they end up wasting some of their time that they're going to use to try to capture the point. But a bad team puts you in an even better situation because they're not going to wait for the D.Va to respawn. Instead, they're just going to push ahead 5 versus 6, and then you have the advantage. And it doesn't just apply to the D.Va, it's any enemy that is lingering around for too long. Like, once the fight is over, players need to know when to back away, or just, jump off a cliff or whatever it happens to be. Just let themselves get eliminated. But the people that linger a lot, usually it's a Genji or something, they'll stick around and they stagger their own Q, and then it puts you in that advantageous position. Do you think that Brigitte and Doomfist are going to be playable when the nerf comes to the live server, or are they going to be dead already? Doomfist is going to be hot garbage. He's just a bad pick after all these nerfs go through. I don't think anyone is going to seriously use him. For Brigitte, she's still going to be somewhat useful, but a lot of her anti-dive is just gone. A lot of her strength is going to be gone. Really, there's not much reason to use her instead of using one of the other supports. So if you need an off healer, you're just going to be better off going with a Lucio or a Zenyatta rather than running Brigitte. How would you revamp the medal system? This is actually an interesting topic. I've thought about it quite a bit, and I'm probably going to talk more about it in another video. But the short version is, the medals are largely useless, or they're bad. So if you're playing as a Junkrat, for example, and you have gold damage, that medal is useless. However, if you're playing, let's say, Orisa, and you have a Junkrat on your team, but the Orisa has the gold medal, well, that's bad because the Junkrat should have it. So either having the medal is worthless because you're supposed to have it, or it's bad because that means someone else isn't doing their job they're supposed to. But again, I think that's a topic that I can go more in depth in another video. But that is going to be all the questions for this week. Thank you to everybody who submitted one, and if you didn't get picked, then try again next week. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like to see more, subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss anything. Also, come hang out in my Discord server and my Twitch live stream. Special thanks to my Patreon supporters. If you'd like to see what kind of cool VIP rewards you can get, check the links down below. And remember, always blame the controller, because it's never your fault.